Okay, so we're going to finish how do you complete the rest of project part 2 of the junior project. So I have already started by writing in, okay, for my job 1 is going to be my building inspector. It's 2 years. I have no children and I am married. So I have copied from between my taxes page. Let's see where to go. From my taxes page, I have copied down how much my total taxes were. I subtracted that, which gives me my line E after tax income. And so I am able to transfer that to here. Okay, and so now what I do, and the easiest thing that I found, if you are using the budget sheet, then really you just need to go to this bottom part, which I have spelled out here. So, and it goes in order on this sheet that it goes into your budget. Now, the only thing is that you need to make sure that these blanks are filled in. So that you will need to go back to these numbers here because you need to know how much you're going to spend and calculate all of that. Wrong screen. Okay, so let's go to keep on my budget sheet here. All right, so for the blanks, my house payment was $1,010, which makes my monthly $1,011. Now, some of these are missing the circle. It just didn't get printed, so you just make your own, please. All right, so we put the, if I can, all right, we may have an issue here, hold on. All right, technology, you gotta love it. Oops. Okay, and now let's see if I can write it. All right, so, all right, so just draw your own circle, and that's where you put it, but because I can't write in it, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it. So in that circle, I would put the 1,111. So these two should match, okay? Now, obviously, if it's an apartment, you'd put your apartment rent plus 15, and then those two would match. All right, so then my monthly dollar amount after you divide it by 2, okay? So I actually don't have that number, so we will just use my calculator. So we would have 1,100. Oh, maybe I do have that number. Divided by 2. All right, so 556. So I did doubt myself. So 556 would go here. Okay. Okay. So here's my, if I look on here, my yearly payment is $6,666. Okay, and so my percentage is 18%. Again, we want your percentages within 5% of your practice. So my practice was 20, and so my final is 18%. So I'm right on track. Now, if we go to that category list, which is at the bottom, I've got 11% is my chosen. Okay, and 4,000, oops. $155, and then 346 is my monthly. My groceries, I chose 13% for food. All right, and 4,911 is yearly, and then my monthly is 409. Okay, so I scroll down. I'm back to having blanks. So now I want to just go back to that worksheet here. Okay, so it would be this right here that I want to use. Okay, I'll highlight that. And so my first car is, so I had to borrow 20,000s. I multiply it by 21 because it was a used car, and that equals 420. And my monthly car insurance was 165, which then equals a total of 585. So then I take this number and I put it there. Okay, so I have 585 here. Okay, my yearly amount is 7,020. And then the percentage is 19%. Okay, and so my estimate was 17%, and so I am within my 5%. All right, so now we go back to that category list. All right, healthcare, I chose 5%. And I did the same for clothing. Okay, so then it's 1,889. And my monthly would be 157. All right, my education. All right, so we go back to the taxes page, to that bottom education one. So these are the numbers that I'm looking at. I just highlighted in yellow. So let's see. So my monthly was 6,964. That is timed by 2. Okay, let's see. I gotta just calculate what that is. So equals this times 2. Okay, so total 13,928. Okay, which turns out to be $139 a month. I take this number and I'm going to write it here. Okay, my yearly amount is $1,671, which my percentage is 4%. Okay, so for the rest of these, again, when you are doing this, you always want to save your savings to last, so that basically you can spend the rest of your money and make sure you've spent 100%. So with this category list, that's really helpful because you can do that. All right, but I will finish. So 7% is 2,774. 231. Okay, and I have 9% for these two. All right. And so these are 3,400. And $283 a month. Okay, and I spent all of my money, so this is 37,774, and it matches my ATI. Well, this is, all right, why am I off $1? Well, again, this is usually change, so easiest thing I can do, 3. So anyhow, that isn't a big deal, and it's right around the same thing. All right, so we'll just all right. How do I, oops, sorry. Okay. So that is all you need to do in order to get, and you're going to repeat the same thing. So if I look at, so here I would write explosive specialist, bachelor's degree, 1 child, 2 years old, married, copy my taxes page, and then fill in a reminder. Again, you cannot leave any blanks. Those blanks that for your education and your car and your house need to be filled in. So you will not get credit if those are not filled in. So anyhow, that is how you do your final budget worksheet. So let's make sure we take care of that. All right, have a great day. Bye.